Hello everyone. If you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video. If you are already subscribed to my channel here on YouTube, thank you for returning. I am currently out of town on vacation, but I definitely am still working, as you already know. If you are subscribed to my blogging website, mylifeandinspiration.com, then you are aware a few weeks back I did a three-part discussion on breaking generational curses, and I received some amazing feedback on it, but I did want to try and reach more people with the message because it meant so much to me, and I feel like with my personal experiences and the world we are living in today, and what I'm seeing every day on a daily basis, it's very important that we stress the importance of breaking generational curses and healing our bloodlines. If you see me looking off to the side, I have other devices set up, so I do apologize for that. I am going to try and be looking forward as much as possible. But yes, so I do want to make sure that I am uploading this information on all of my platforms. So I decided to record and post it on my YouTube channel as well. So like I mentioned, it seems that I'm hearing breaking generational curses or generational curses now more than ever, although I did hear it quite a bit growing up. My older sisters would always tell me, you have to be different. You have to take a different path. You have to be better than us. You have to be the one to break the mold. You have to be the one to break this generational curse. And as a child, I really didn't get it. It really didn't dawn on me. But as I have gotten older, I've began to really understand what they meant. Sometimes it takes for you to go through a few things to actually be able to put the pieces together. And unfortunately, a lot of us may not have had, what is the word, idealistic role models, people to look up to for, how we should move and how we should do things. Some of us learn what to do by learning what not to do. It was the other way around. And I turned out just fine. So what are generational curses and how do you break these generational curses? Now, a generational curse, in my opinion, would be something that your bloodline, your family members have constantly been exposed to. And it's not a positive, it's a negative. Maybe it's something that your great grandparent suffered from or experienced and went through, and your grandparent watched them go through that and watch them suffer and experience different things, and they soaked and absorbed all of that up like a sponge. And with them witnessing these things, naturally they picked up these bad habits. They began to be exposed to these things, and they picked up that toxicity. And your grandparent may have passed it on to your mother or father because they never received the rehabilitation or healing they needed. And by the time it reaches you, at this point, it's become a norm. It's something that's normal. You're not surprised by it. Now, how do you break this curse that your family is suffering from? In my opinion, the first step would be to figure out what that generational curse is, the misfortune, the sin that just won't let go of the bad habits that your family has been suffering from. So knowing exactly what you are dealing with will definitely be that first step. Now, whether that's poverty, whether that's child abuse, sexual abuse, alcoholism, drug addiction, depression, attitudes, behaviors, whatever the case may be. These are just some illnesses and tragedies that I have personally witnessed and been affected by through my bloodline. Now, of course, after acknowledgement is going to be acceptance and then understanding, knowing what the problem is, fully accepting the problem, and understanding it's not just about you. You're not the only one that needs healing. This is going to have to be a family healing process. All of those who have witnessed and who have endured and now carry those scars along with you. So it's very easy for us to assume with, a generational curse. Yes, generational means, more than one, but hey, I'm just going to fix me. I'm going to work on me and, we're going to move forward. But what about the past generations? What about your sisters, brothers, your children, your nieces, nephews? It's kind of like, like a plague. If you don't knock it entirely out, it's just going to keep spreading. You can't heal yourself and work on yourself and still allow those around you to be broken and suffering. This is something that is affecting your entire bloodline and is going to keep affecting. So we have to fix, heal, repair the generations that came before us and that still stand. And we have to be able to save and preserve the generations that's going to come after us. Now, a great question of how do you get your family involved? How do you present your concerns, your grief? How do you move forward into healing, whether alone or as a unit? And like I just addressed, how do you save the future generations? Now, on my site, that was part of the third. That was the third part. Now, if you have stubborn family members like I do, it honestly may be a challenge for you to get some of your family members involved. They may not see the point, they may not see the value in going through any form of treatment, healing, rehabilitation, whatever you want to call it, and they may be very, very reluctant, aka stubborn. Now, it's very important that you make sure your family know and understands the importance of healing your bloodline and breaking this stigma up. Because your children, their children, once again, future children are depending on you all to say no more. And not just say no more, but actually stand up and be willing to act on this. And if you are unable to reach some family members, or you don't necessarily feel comfortable approaching them, maybe they're very defensive. We all have family members when you try to approach them or speak with them about how you feel or give constructive criticism or advice, things of that nature, they're very defensive. So if you do not feel comfortable trying to be that mediator, to be that initiator and sit everyone down and come to them direct, an outside source may be best. So I do feel like family therapy sessions are definitely going to be key, because you have to be able to communicate. And in order for this to work and for you and your family to be able to heal your bloodline and break these generational curses and just go above and beyond and fix those crowns that naturally sit on top of our heads, you have to be as transparent as possible. And that's going to be saying things that they may not like, and vice versa. You're going to have to be open-minded and optimistic and willing to listen and actually move as a unit. It's hot out. Make sure you're drinking your water. But yes, so when communicating your concerns, make sure that you are being as transparent as possible. Um, Allowing yourself to be vulnerable with your loved ones is going to be key. Um, Being able to actually be vulnerable and let them see that you are fully committed and you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable and open up, it's going to break chains in this healing process. Because sometimes that's what it takes for others to feel like, okay, I can let my guard down a little bit. Seeing you do the same thing. So definitely being just open-minded, vulnerable. This is your family. So it's not like you're dealing with a bunch of strangers. Make sure, as you know, yes, be open-minded, yes, be optimistic, but definitely have an open heart. Be willing to put everything on the table and be as, what's the word? Be as sincere and authentic as possible. And please keep in mind that, you know, we are going into this with the mindset of no more. And we're not just saying it, we're acting on it. So with that being said, you have to understand that poverty is stopping with you. Child abuse is stopping with you. Sexual abuse, it stops with you. The alcoholism, the drug addiction, these bad attitudes and behaviors and being just reckless, whatever the generational curse is that pertains to your bloodline, it stops with you. It may not have started with you, but it's time for you to stand up and be the one to help your family to move forward. So it's stopping with you. And that comes with acknowledging, accepting, understanding, and acting. It's very easy for us to say, well, you know, I really would like to do this. I really would like to see this outcome. I really would like to see these things happen. And we never act on it. So it's not about just saying or realizing that a change needs to take place, that it's time for you and yours to evolve and elevate. It has to be you stepping up and taking that first step. Taking that second step and just naturally moving forward. And with doing so, it's time for us to also normalize very, very important things. We live in a time where a lot of things are looked down upon or shunned, and it tends to make certain people feel become very standoffish or feel like they're being called out. So it's very important that we normalize paying attention and being vigilant with things going on in our inner circle, being very observant. It's also very important that we normalize our children having freedom of speech and listening more than we talk, and making sure that our children know it's okay. You can come to me with anything. I'm not judging you. I'm not going to be defensive. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to get loud. And really making sure that they are comfortable in coming to you and being able to feed positivity into them on a daily basis. We must also normalize, you may not like this, but we must also normalize accountability, rehabilitation, and healing. So I think a lot of people, I've also suffered from it in the past, are just not comfortable with being held accountable for their actions. They're not comfortable with being held accountable at all. And that triggers some. But it's very important because when you are able to hold yourself accountable, that leads to growth. That leads to elevations. So you have to be able to hold yourself accountable. You have to normalize healing and rehabilitation, not being afraid to say, Okay, I need help with this. Okay, this is how things are going right now, but this is not how I want it to be. You have to be able to be honest with yourself, and being honest with those around you, so that you are able to grow as a person. So it's okay to admit that you're not perfect. It's okay to admit that you don't have it all together, because we were not created to be perfect. We are human. We have flaws. I feel like it's a lot of characteristics and traits that we carry, and it makes us unique. It makes us who we are. But some of those characteristics and traits may contain bad habits and things that we need to break. So we have to normalize these things, being open and honest with ourselves, with those around us, pulling our children close and making sure that we're keeping a close eye on them and they feel comfortable with coming to us. We must normalize healing. We must normalize meditating and clearing our mind, opening our hearts, making sure that we live and breathe positivity, because those around us, when you are positive and you give off positive energy, those around you, they connect with you. They feel that energy. Just like if you're giving off what they bad vibes, I can pick up a bad vibe from a mile away. And a lot of people can, when people say, well, I just feel like, you was acting funny. I could just tell you wasn't in a bad mood, so I wasn't trying to bother you. You can pick up a bad vibe. And just like you can pick up a bad vibe, you can pick up positive vibes and positive energy. So just making sure that you are living and breathing that positive energy, that is definitely something that we must normalize. And with doing these things and being all in when it comes to self and family and breaking these chains and breaking generational curses and saving ourselves, saving our children, saving your future children, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, whoever you can draw in to this process, it's going to help, because you're going to be taking a proactive approach to avoid a reactive approach. AKA, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So if you are being proactive and really giving your all to this healing process, you don't have to deal with the unfortunate consequences that comes from things being swept under the rug and not being addressed. It's perfectly fine to lean on friends and family, because that's what they are here for us to lean on them. So it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to admit that you are not perfect, and it's okay to heal. A lot of us just walk around with these scars, and it's even more people who don't even have scars. It's still open wounds. And scars, that's part of the process. If you're still walking around with open wounds, you haven't healed from a lot of things, you haven't addressed from a lot of things, and those wounds, is pain attached to those wounds. Once you address things and those wounds turn into scars, that is progress. And then you learn, how do I live with these scars? And it took me a long time to really understand certain things and be accepting of certain things. And I can honestly say at this point, I am about 80 to 90% at a scar stage with a lot of things that I've encountered from childhood on up, being able to heal from those different traumatic experiences. I can honestly say that I am coming into a scarred stage, and that is the goal. Right now, you may have open wounds and they're bleeding out, and it's so much that you need to heal from. And it starts with acknowledgement. It starts with saying, I'm making a change today. I'm going to stand up. and I'm going to make a change today. I'm not waiting till tomorrow. I'm not going to start it next week. You know how we do with the diets. Or I'm going to start on Monday because I already done bought my snacks for this week. I'm going to just start on Monday. No, it starts today. We are trying to get from open wounds to scars, and we're trying to evolve. So it's very, very important that you acknowledge and address the things that need to be addressed. It will be acknowledge, accept, understand, and act in that order. So acknowledge, accept, understand, and then we're going to act on it. We're not just going to talk about it. We're going to save our bloodlines. Because honestly, what I'm seeing now, especially now, it's just like history is constantly repeating itself, and we are a dying breed. We need our future generations. We need the generations and the children that we are raising now. We need our brothers. We need our sisters. We need our friends. We need our neighbors. Now is the time for us to really be hanging on to each other and trying to grow together. It's not just about you. It's just not about healing yourself. You need to heal your entire bloodline. So that is what breaking generational curses is to me. If you are a reader, you can read that on my blogging website, mylifeandinspiration.com. If you are a watcher, here you go. I really try with my inspirational speeches and my sit downs, even though I'm standing, because I think better on my feet. I try to give you an option. If you want to watch it, you can watch it. If you want to read it, you can read it, because it just kind of depends on what type of mood I'm in. And some people don't like to read if they don't have to. And then some people, they love to read. So I try to put it on my YouTube channel and put it on my blogging website. And I haven't posted like anything to my inspiration series in quite a while, on my motivating series. So I definitely wanted to jump on that. Even though I'm on vacation, I wanted to take a moment and really vibe with y'all and put you on, because this is something that is very, very important and something that I hold very close and understand the importance of. So while you're here, why don't you watch another video? I love the video, The Time Is Now. It gives you the motivation to jump into action and not wait any longer, to do it today, get it done today, make a change today. Comment, let me know you were here. If you like this video, like, and if you loved this video, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you right here in my next video. Thank you so much.